Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Darvini Franco. I'm going to be talking about my experience with mushrooms, so psychedelics. A disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to advise you to take them or encourage you to take them, but I would just like you to listen to my experience, to listen to my discovery with it. It's just my perspective. First is gonna be like why I decided to try them. My awareness of myself and my soul, my awareness has definitely changed since like the pandemic around that time. You know, I was just watching videos on TikTok and a lot of them talked about how people, you know, took these psychedelic mushrooms, you know, that grew from the ground and that it helped them with trauma. They had a very spiritual experience with it, and so I was like, you know what? I want to try it, you know, because I went through neglect in my childhood and like it affected me a lot. This is more like an emotional trauma, like it wasn't physical or anything, and it was like mental, but it just affects your nervous system regardless. When you're a kid, you know, there's multiple things that can set off your fight, flight, or fawn. That is very sensitive as a human, a baby that is growing and like learning how to, you know, live in the world and, you know, be themselves and have their own opinions and their own creativity and, you know, basically embrace their own energy and like know how to use it for the better and to help you be yourself in a sense. And I feel like that really was kind of like taken away from me because I was always in a state of like defensiveness and like just scared of the world from going through like the neglect and stuff. Yeah, so it was tough on me, and I didn't realize till like I was maybe 18 that I had, you know, endured that trauma. I'm not gonna say my whole childhood was horrible. There was just situations that would just like really struck me in my nervous system, and I was never taught how to like deal with my emotions or, you know, handle them. And I'm a Pisces moon, so, you know, I feel a lot. I'm not gonna lie, like even without astrology, like I think astrology is cool, but like in just general, I do feel a lot. I would say like as a woman and just as a human, like I feel a lot and I have endured a lot, and I was fairly strong about it, but also it was like just deteriorating me like slowly. So I just all that, I had this like year and a half of just like working with myself, being able to not be afraid of everything and like not be afraid of what my next step is gonna be and not be afraid at all. You know, I was fearful of everything. I was scared that, you know, something really bad was gonna happen to me, and that like I couldn't even like imagine how bad it would have been, because that's how scary the thought was. Like it was scary, you know. I would disassociate. I felt really in and out of like the world, society. I felt so indifferent, and sometimes I still do feel different, but you know, it's okay. We're all unique in some sort of way, and we also all are human. My disassociation was what really like set off, like I hated it. Like it was just so scary. I felt like I had no control over my thoughts. I had no control over my emotions, over my body, over myself. I just always felt like as if something bad was gonna happen. I always felt really negative. I had the worst intrusive thoughts. It just came like really bad. And for the first time ever in my life, I was suicidal. And like it didn't last for a long time. I did have thoughts of suicide and like things like that. But I honestly, I've never ever thought about, like, even like when I was younger, even before 18, I never thought about that. I had the hardest times, but like with myself, but I would always be like, you know what, I love myself, like, you know, it's okay. But this time it really like shook me to the core. I didn't know how to handle my situation that I was in, and like how to move forward. I learned about like, you know, trauma, and I learned how it works, and I learned like just everything, right? And like I'm dissecting myself part by part, and then when you do that, you start dissecting the people around you, and you know, that just it does something to you, you know, because you're just learning more about yourself. And then like I believe that we are all reflections of each other. I just believe that we, in some way or somehow, we reflect certain things off each other. Really trying to understand like, why is this happening? Why is it happening to me? Like, okay, this happened, how can I fix it within myself, because I can't control others, like things like that. So, you know, I knew I had to deal with it, and I had to, you know, step up to the plate and really just take charge of like myself, because, you know, I was getting stuck in this like victim mentality. I would just victimize myself about the things that happened to me. I just stayed in this like loop of like, but like, why me? Like, you know, why can't they just pay attention to me and like see what they did to me and like how they hurt me, when those people at that time didn't care at all, you know? And it's like, okay, like you already tried, you know, now just, you know, look inside, like look inward, and you know, help yourself, because nobody's gonna help. People might, you know, like step all over you, or you know, traumatize you in some way or another. They'll never look back, you know, and they won't even like hear you out. You have to learn how to like just, okay, it happened, I wish them well, you know, but I'm gonna look inside that situation that happened to you, like going through that trauma. I really realized that it mainly has to do with emotional regulation, and so I really had like set out to like learn how to heal my nervous system. I heard shrooms heal your nervous system, and also breath work, meditation, yoga, like all these other things, breathing, shaking, dancing. Being present was one of the hardest things. Like I would just run in my mind all day, run in my mind, intrusive thoughts, negative thoughts. I took them in the middle of like me trying to regulate my nervous system more and being present. I took them in the middle, so that's why I did it. The how is like, I got the fungi. I did my research on dosage, and I was a little scared. I didn't want to like take a trip, if you know what I'm saying. I really wanted to be gentle with it, because my mind was very fearful in that moment, and I didn't want to set anything off in a say. So I just, you know, I wanted to be safe, and it was my first time obviously, so I ate them in a sandwich, and I set my intention too, because that's really important to set your intention, because your intention and your energy matters most, you know. So I set my intention with them. I did feel a little like warmness in my stomach, and like a little bit of nervousness, like a rush, and I did get a little scared, but you know, I just came back down to reality and was like, you know what, like I am going to accept this plant and what this plant brings to me, and I'm going to accept it open-heartedly, and I'm gonna have a good time, and that's it. So then, not that I forgot the sequence of how it happened, because I can talk about it in detail, I feel like, but basically I was just releasing like stuck energy that I had inside of me, I guess, the trauma. It helped me remember from a certain traumatic event. It wasn't like multiple, but it was just like a memory that came back up. I just had this feeling of crying, so I cried a lot, but it wasn't like I was sad or I was having the worst time. It was just like this needed to get out of me. Like I didn't feel sad or anything. Like I felt calm, but I was just crying, like releasing. I didn't really like lay down and close my eyes with it until like later that night. So I took it like around 9 o'clock, okay? And then I was like feeling nervous. I went through the process of like, you know, figuring out how it felt. It just helped me like release my emotions, release my trauma, release some of my like stagnant energy that was stuck in me. It helped me release that. Later, all that emotional releasing just kind of went away. And then I just started feeling really, really, really like we're all one, like I just all this knowledge came to me, like we can do anything. It made me feel like I could do anything. It helped me like listen to myself more. My thoughts in my head before were loud than a motherfucker. Like my mind was so loud, so freakishly loud. I've never heard myself so loud in my life, but it was a constant everyday thing where just loud thoughts, like loud negative intrusive thoughts. And you know, after that, literally I felt like it was a day and night of like difference. Like I was able to basically be a little more grounded in myself. I was able to get through my day without like being in my head so much. It brought me the gift of knowing what being in the present is like again. It was just such an amazing experience. That is why I got my little shroom boy, my shroomie. That is why I got that as my first tattoo, because it really, really, really changed my view on life, my view on myself, my view about how I feel about myself, etc. It was just something that really changed my life. Without it, I really don't know where I would be here today, because it was really tough. I felt like I was drowning in fear and like not knowing how to just live. I didn't know what it felt like to be in my own energy and express that and be strong rooted in that. It felt more like life. I felt like I was a freaking leaf and the wind and life was just taking me and I had no control, and I just felt utterly like shit. I was, you know, working it out and trying to like heal myself. It was so hard, but shrooms helped me tremendously, and breath work helped me an insane amount, you know, as well as like I wouldn't know what to do without mushrooms, but breath work I wouldn't know what to do without either. Breath work, I just felt like I was on a different planet like when I was doing it. It's somewhat a difficult thing to do, but the benefits are so amazing. So yeah, that was my experience with it. If y'all have any questions, yeah, thank you so much for watching. If you got to the end, I appreciate you watching and staying and listening to what I have to say. And life is better with you in it. I will be posting more videos, vlogs, and like more about like non-toxic living and etc. It's gonna be a genuine freaking like place to be. I'm always gonna be genuine and honest on here and raw and real. I just want to bring vulnerability to this platform, you know, or where I'm at, and just embrace that, you know, everyone's welcome. But thank you so much for watching, and like and subscribe, and see you next time. My throat is so freaking dry.